For those of you who have at some point seen Cal Newport's video on the 4-month reinvention, or who have perhaps seen one of my videos about Cal Newport's 4-month reinvention process, I am doing a follow-up today, which is probably going to be, or it might be, my last word on this topic, because I don't know how incredibly useful it will be to everyone to hear me constantly talking about this thing that Cal basically invented and laid out. It's not my process, but there's several things about going through this process that I want to say, and I'm not done with it. As of this production of this video, I will have the vision part of the reinvention process left to do. And I intend to follow through and do all the parts of this reinvention process. It consists of developing habits, of examining your values, of developing an organizational approach to your life that Cal recommends, and developing 2 aspects of your vision, a personal part of your vision and a work part of your vision, after you have built that foundation. And I'll put the link to the video in the description of this video, so you can go look at it if you want to. If all that I got out of this was to develop the daily habit of doing 4 or 5 things that are useful to my life, this would be entirely worthwhile. I never have been so disciplined as I have been in these last couple of months since I started this process. So I have another video that I did where I talked about what those habits were and how I was developing those, and I'm continuing to develop those. It's something that you have to adapt a little bit to the different things that are going on in your life, but it's become such a solid mainstay of my work to make sure that each of those things are done every day. So the habit part of it is fantastic. The part about examining your values has been very fascinating to me, because I spent quite a bit of time wonder, zest, delight, imagination, diligence, impact, greatness. I came up with all of these different values. And then I began to investigate the Stoic virtues and the virtues that Aristotle talks about and the virtues that Buddhists talk about. I got very deeply into this whole topic, and one of the things that I discovered in trying to find out what Cal talks about this, he just said pick some values and start referring to them. I think his idea is that if you make reference to something that's important to you every week about how you want to live, that's just going to make your work and your life better. Because instead of getting lost in the details of what you're doing, you will begin to align yourself more and more with, say, wisdom or justice or courage or temperance. I just use those because those are the Stoic virtues or values. I really haven't found hardly anyone who is talking about the difference between developing a virtue and referring to your values. And some of this has to do with your moral code. And I think the main thing I've discovered in doing this reflection and research is that these days there isn't an idea that there's some solid code for anybody to follow. Everybody's on their own. Everybody thinks whatever they're doing is the best thing, since sliced bread or none of the above is better. So what I personally take from it is to have that list of things that are important to me close at hand. I have a document in my a file with my core documents, which include my habits and my values, and I make reference to those as I plan out each week, so I just get a sense if I feel lined up with the things that are most important to me. So that's the values section. Beyond that, there's this organizational system, and Cal has a time blocking system which he's actually created a planner for. I understand it. He's talking about working back from like a quarterly plan to a weekly plan and then to a daily plan, and all of that makes sense. I can't really block out my time consistently because I am improvising every day. I want to hit certain marks, but I have a document that I use called Making Sense of the Schedule, which I sit down and refer to maybe 2 or 3 times in a day, where I write about what is happening, and then I decide what is the most important thing to do next, because I am in the moment. Things are occurring that I need to respond to, and I'm not a knowledge worker so that I'm inundated with emails or this or that. I'm in charge of my time, and I'm in charge of my energy and how to keep my energy level up. So at certain times, it's obviously going to be time to do some composing, which is intense mental work, or it's going to be time to do my workout, my weightlifting, or whatever kind of movement I might be doing for that particular day. I need to have some flexibility with that, and I like creating my day in that particular way. But I'm tracking my habits, and I have a task list also that I'm writing. I'm not using an app for my tasks that get lost. I like having the written list and marking off each task and looking at what's left to do in a certain segment of time I call my logistical time. So I've spent some time leaning into my organizational process with the help of the tools that Cal has suggested, and I've gotten a lot out of that. And the last section will be about a vision of what you want to create for the future. I haven't begun that yet. It's probably getting close to that time. He has segments of time, a couple weeks for the habits, a month for the values, a month for the organization, and then this vision process. I don't know whether that actually adds up to 4 months. It doesn't matter. I will say that I feel like I'm reinventing myself, and I like that very much. Big things are happening, things that I have not been able to get done in as consistent way as I am doing now. And so I'm happy with the progress. This is all I have to say about Cal Newport's 4-month reinvention process. I may not reinvestigate this with another YouTube video. Maybe I will. If I get excited about the vision part of this process, I'll make something about that. But please feel free to leave a comment. If any of this strikes you as interesting or you want to hear more about any part of it, I'm happy to talk more about some of these things. But you know, I'm very leery about audience capture. You know, I practically have no audience, but you know, whatever audience I have, I'm not sure I want to be captured by them, or you, or whoever you are. But I wouldn't mind having a little exchange of ideas. I hope you're well. I hope you're making your way through the fog. And please like this video if you like it. Subscribe to the channel. And I will be back in the next video.